eternal city. It was founded over 2,700 years ago by twin brothers Romulus and Remus. For centuries, the people and emperors of Rome ruled the known world. Through war and conquest, they dominated the entire Mediterranean and controlled a territory which spanned 3 continents. It was home to legendary figures like Julius Caesar and Augustus, but also to crazed emperors Nero and Caligula. Rome's history is a violent one. It was a civilization founded on bloodshed and lust, and would eventually destroy itself in the same manner. But is that all Rome had to offer? Typical perceptions of Rome include constant gladiator games, wine-fueled orgies, and prosperity among all. These are all dramatized visions of a glorious culture that was far more similar to our own than it was different. Their influence and contributions can be felt even today. By examining the history and culture of ancient Rome, we're able to see that not all of Rome died in its collapse. Every day, we're surrounded by common symbols which owe their meaning and lasting appeal to the Romans. For instance, the Great Seal of the United States shows an eagle clutching arrows in one leg and an olive branch in the other. Imagery such as this is usually interpreted as uniquely American. The eagle, however, was not always a symbol for American nationalism. In Roman mythology, the eagle was the companion of the chief god Jupiter, and it was used widely throughout Rome, adorning statues and temples. Its religious associations would have been widely known throughout the Roman world. It was also used by the military, which carried standards with the bird of Jupiter mounted on top. In recent history, others have used the eagle to create a memorable link with the ancient past. Napoleon Bonaparte's Grand Army used it to decorate their standards, banners, and uniforms. It was also incorporated into the emblem of the consulate, after Napoleon declared himself first consul, a title also derived from ancient Rome. During World War II, the Nazis held party rallies and demonstrations while carrying Roman standards which were topped with the eagle. At the same time, fascist dictator Benito Mussolini, who envisioned Italy becoming a new Rome, also used ancient Roman symbols, including the fasces. It was a tool carried by Roman civil servants known as lictors, in order to preserve the peace or hand out punishment. Even the word fascism is derived from the ancient Roman tool. It also appears in numerous forms throughout the United States, representing strength or justice. The olive branch was also used in everyday life by the Romans. Olives were a precious commodity in the ancient world, despite the amount of labor required to produce them. Extending an olive branch to an enemy, therefore, became known as a symbol offering peace, as they could only be grown during peacetime. The olive branch appears on the official seal of the president, which has been in use since 1880, and on the United Nations flag. In the mid-1st century BC, Julius Caesar replaced the old Roman calendar, which had 355 days, with a new one, reorganized with 365 days, with one leap year every 4 years. The renovated Julian calendar is essentially identical to the calendar system used today. Originally, the older style calendar put the beginning of the new year in March, at the start of spring. Julius Caesar had the new year coincide with the 1st of January. Most of the names for the months are derived from the original Roman names as well. January from Janus, god of doorways and beginnings. February is derived from the Roman festival of Februa. March is the month of Mars, the god of war. April comes from the Roman month Aprilis. May for the Roman Maya, goddess of spring. June is named after the queen of the gods, Juno. July gets its name from Julius Caesar, who rededicated the month after himself. August was renamed in the same fashion after Augustus, first emperor of Rome. And September, October, November, and December simply mean the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th month. Certain religious festivals from ancient Rome were replaced with Christian holidays as paganism declined under alternate names but with similar meaning. A Roman festival known as Lupercalia celebrated fertility and health. It was held February 15th and is the modern equivalent of St. Valentine's Day. Often used as a symbol for the modern holiday is the chubby winged child known as Cupid, which was the Roman god of erotic love. In December, Romans would honor the god Saturn during the week-long celebration of Saturnalia. This was held at the end of the month and is believed to be the basis for celebrating Christmas during this time. One of Rome's often forgotten but inescapable contributions is their language. Although it is not spoken directly, the majority of words in the English language, at least 60% and probably higher, are derived from Latin. Many common names such as Marcus or Julia are Latin words. Even the name America is taken from a Latinized version of Amerigo, the person it was named for. Other languages spoken around the world also developed from Latin. They are known collectively as the Romance languages. The main ones include Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Italian. Including English-speaking countries, it's estimated that over 1 billion people today speak a language which traces its roots to Latin. Another important contribution from ancient Rome in use today is their alphabet. Numerous writing systems around the world, English included, base their alphabet on the Latin characters. With the exception of J, U, and W, the capital letters of the English alphabet are identical. Besides the basis for languages, Latin is also used in the Linnaeus taxonomy system, developed by Carl Linnaeus in the 18th century to classify and arrange organisms. Thanks to Linnaeus and Latin, humans are scientifically classified as Homo sapiens. Many legal terms in use today, such as habeas corpus, in absentia, stare decisis, and others are taken directly from Latin. At the heart of Rome was its government. During the Republic era, a code of laws known as the 12 Tables were created, which protected the rights of all citizens. Roman law would eventually spread and become the foundation for numerous law systems throughout the world. Because of the 6th century Emperor Justinian, who collected all works of law and assembled them in a single doctrine, Roman law was preserved until modern day. In one form or another, it was the basis for most of the European law systems until the end of the 18th century, and even the English common law, which helped influence the U.S. Constitution, borrowed from the ancient laws of Rome. Even in America, founding fathers like Thomas Jefferson and John Adams hung on every word of Roman writers like Sallust, Tacitus, and Cicero, considering every character they wrote worth studying. George Washington was considered the Cincinnatus of America for his reluctance to hold power and his patriotism for his country. Because of this, many statues were created with Washington dressed in Roman-style clothing. Many of the buildings of ancient Rome have been lost to time, but we're left with a small piece of their majesty. One of the most influential pieces we have is the Pantheon, a temple which was dedicated to all the gods. Its design, which is quite different than other temples in the Roman world, due to its square column front and large dome interior, has been replicated in almost every state capitol building in America, including the Capitol in Wisconsin. The Emperor Trajan was centuries ahead of his time when he built what is considered the first multi-story shopping mall, and it was equipped with the ancient equivalent of all the stores we might find in a modern mall. Sports fans as well owe some debt to the Romans for their architectural endeavors. Modern stadiums, which itself is a Latin word, are modeled after amphitheaters, a must in any great Roman town. The most famous of them is undoubtedly the Colosseum. Romans also loved going to the races at the Circus Maximus, a large oval track used for chariot racing. The Romans, like audiences today, enjoyed a good spectacle, often betting on their favorite gladiator or charioteer. There were also inventions like the hypocaust system, which circulated warm air through chambers beneath flooring. It was especially useful in bathhouses where heated floors were a necessity. This subfloor heating is similar to a system in homes today, centuries after it was first conceived. The empire eventually came to an end. Destroyed by barbarians, ancient Rome exists now only in its legacy. As the saying goes, not only do all roads lead to Rome, but most of our culture does as well. The people of Rome were very similar to the people of the world today. They worked the land, loved to be entertained, and were extremely resourceful and creative. The people in the cities created a melting pot of ethnicities, each contributing a bit of their heritage to the Roman way of life. One could argue that without Rome, our world today could never exist. In the words of Professor Charles Hershey, Rome is modern, progressive, a present force among the cities of the world, even as she is the treasure house of the ages. He continues, ancient Rome has left to her successors much more than her forums, her temples and arches, and her arenas. She has bequeathed her civilization, including her laws, her customs, her literature, and her philosophy. They are a part of our civilization today.